Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, what I want to talk about is a little, I guess it's touchy for some people. Um, and the reason I'm talking about it is because of something that happened last couple of days. Um, and what I want to talk about is the fear of dying, the fear of death. Um, because I had a cousin that just passed away a couple days ago. He was a really good a good person. He was a great guy. I haven't seen him in a long time, but never had a bad experience around him. He was always, he's funny, joking around. He was really into old cars. And at one point, I was real close with his kids when we were younger. So I think he might have four kids. I think that there's one that I don't know too well, but the three older ones, I know them. Um, we communicate some. Well, I communicate with the sons um, on Instagram. And but my father called me the other day and told me about it. Told me that my cousin Alfred had passed away. And I told my dad that I'd find out what happened because my dad didn't know. My dad's brother called him and said, "Hey, Alfred passed away." So then my dad messaged me because my dad and Alfred are friends. They've been friends since 19. They want to say 1965. And but Alfred's my cousin. He's my mom's first cousin. He's my second cousin. So he's a lot older than me. You know what I mean? He's I think like 2 or 3 years younger than my father. He's a little bit younger than my mother. But he's from their era. His kids are my age. His oldest kids are my age. So you know, I got a contact with my cousin and which is his son, and I say, what happened with your dad? I heard what happened. My condolences to you and your family, your mom, and because him and his wife have been together since I want to say they've been together before I was even born, and I just turned 49. So they got to be have been together at least 50 years plus. Um, so that's a very long time to be with somebody, and all of a sudden they're no longer there. Um, so I really feel bad, especially for his wife, because she's a good person also. But when I asked my cousin, I didn't ask for details, none of that stuff. I just said what happened because I had never heard of him being sick or having cancer or anything like that. I've never heard of him being in bad health. If he was, it wasn't spread around the family. Like, oh, Alfred's sick or anything like that. No, I never heard anything like that. You know what I mean? So I always assumed that he's always been in good health. And so you know, my dad said something about that he had fell at home. That's all he knows. Knew is that he fell at home. So I'm thinking, because my cousin, he's all into old cars, and he has a lot of them. And I was thinking, well, maybe he was in his garage. He was up on the ladder. Maybe he fell, hit his head or something. Turns out they weren't at home. They were like out having, I guess, out having a good time somewhere. And I mean, I know where they're at, but I'm not gonna say. But anyway, they were out having a good time somewhere. And from what I understand, he tripped over a coffee table. And like I said, I didn't ask for no details, so I don't know. That's all I know. I didn't say, well, how the hell that happened? What happened? I'm just assuming that if he did, he fell and hit his head somewhere, and and that's the part. That's one thing about this video is that I'm going through what I'm going through with the cancer and all that shit. And people, they ask like, "Are you afraid of dying?" And I tell them, "No, I'm not afraid of dying. I'm not afraid of cancer because okay, I was having a conversation with a guy this weekend at a wedding on the last Friday, and he's like, "Hey, you seem to have a really good outlook on life, and the way you're handling things." And I said, well, what am I supposed to do? You know, I die from, if I die from this, that's it. I can go across the street right now and get hit by a car. You know, I can get hit by a straight bullet. I can die in a motorcycle accident on my bike. Or, like my cousin, something, a small accident like that can kill me. You know, so why be afraid? What are you afraid of? You know, you don't exist anymore. That's all there is. You only exist in the minds of the people that remember you, your family members, your friends. That's it. You know, so why should I be afraid of dying of cancer? You know, I could get hit by a car. You know, that's what I was telling him. You can go get hit by a car right now, you know, and die. We're all gonna die. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you afraid of? You afraid of not existing? Um, you didn't exist before. You were alive. You weren't afraid then. So, I start thinking about all these things. You know, because of what I'm going through. You know, what happens with my cousin. You know, he passes away from something so minor. You know, um, a slip and a fall or whatever it is. You know, tripping over a coffee table. You know, and here I am with stage 4 cancer. You know, still fighting it. You know what I mean? Still here, still alive. You know, how fucking fair is that? But I was wondering. I just wonder how other people think. You know what I mean? As far as death goes. So I watched the videos. I was watching some videos on YouTube last night and today, and one of the videos I was watching, they were doing an interview with 3 people, and they all have diseases. They have sicknesses. They're all dying. One has cancer. The other one has what the hell's that shit that Michael J. Fox has? Parkinson's disease. And the other one, I can't remember what that other guy had. But they asked him, like, "Are you afraid?" And they're like, "No, I'm afraid of hurting other people, not of myself, leaving everybody else behind. You know what I mean? To deal with my death. You know, so I understand exactly what they're saying because that's the way that I feel. It's not. I don't give a shit about dying. It doesn't bother me none. I'm not worried about that. You know, to me, it's just the end of the game. I got to the end of the fucking game. You know, I started the game. I got to finish the game, and that's it. You know, it's the fact that you're leaving people behind, or it's the fact that who's gonna watch over certain people for you. You know what I mean? Like my wife or my kids, or you know, close family members. You know what I mean? When I'm not here, you know what I mean? Especially when you feel like okay, because like I had an uncle that passed away a few years ago, like I want to say 8 years ago, and he's on my mom's side of the family, and he was like, to me, he was like the protector of our family as far as my mother's side of the family goes. Did a lot of time in prison, you know, most of his life, you know, he did in prison, and but when he was out, you know, or even when he was inside, you know, if you fuck with one of the family members, you're gonna have to. If he's on the outside, you have to answer this guy. If he's on the inside, you're gonna have to answer somebody else. But you know, it was he protected the family, the close family. You know what I mean? And so we always had him to depend on if anything happened. Um, then he's on his deathbed and shit. You know, and me and him were talking, and he was just like, well, he knew that he was going. You know what I mean? He didn't want to. He kept saying he's gonna try to fight the shit, but he was already. You could just look at him and tell. You know what I mean? It was just a matter of time. You know, and he's like, well, um, if I'm not here no more, you have to look up the family. So I don't want to really say I took up that role because I'm there's certain people I wouldn't really do shit for. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck what you're going through. I have a small amount of people that I really give a shit about. As far as my family goes. Um, but if something happens and they need me and I gotta go, I gotta go. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? But not like him. This guy was, he was a lot different than me. Um, but who's gonna look after these people when I'm not here? So um, so those are the things that you think about. The dying part is not. I just don't want to like the guy saying in the video. I just don't want to die in pain. You know what I mean? If it comes down to that, I don't want to be all in all kinds of fucking pain. I would hope that um, one of my close friends or my father or my brother, somebody, if it comes down to that point where I can't, there's nothing else I can do, and I'm in excruciating pain, these doctors can't do anything for it, that maybe they would do something without getting themselves in any kind of trouble, do something to take that shit away. Um, but if it comes down to like right now, I'm not in no pain right now. The only time that I have pain is when at the night at nighttime, my feet start to hurt, and I'll have to take Norcos to keep my feet and mainly my feet. Sometimes my legs will bother me, but my feet they keep them from hurting. It's very uncomfortable. It's hard to fall asleep when you're like that. It just it's not excruciating, but it's just a fucking annoying pain that I have in my feet and my legs sometimes. Mainly my feet though every day. Maybe that's not a big deal though. You know what I mean? But I'm not really in pain during the day. Um, but like they were asked all three of them. This is well, one by one they asked them, do you feel like you're dying? And they all said yeah, but not in the same sense that everybody else feels. Okay, so I can understand what they're saying. Because there is times where I feel that way. You know what I mean? I don't go around fucking just saying it. You know what I mean? I don't like. I don't even tell my wife. You know what I mean? It's just the way you feel, your body feels. You know what I mean? And yeah, the chemotherapy is helping me, but let's not get it fucked up. I still have stage 4 cancer. It's shrinking the tumors down, but I still have fucking stage 4 cancer. So I haven't beat cancer. You know what I mean? I still have cancer. And I'm still stage 4 cancer. So, um, but I understand exactly what they're saying because he's saying it's not like the way you think. Like when you think of dying, you think of like being in pain and being in a hospital bed. You just like how it's like I said, you're in a lot of pain. That's what you think, but it's not like that. Not for me, and I obviously not for them when they were asking them. He's saying I feel my body. It's not holding up like it used to anymore. You know what I mean? And it's like he feels like he says they're all saying like I feel my body is dying some days. Not every day, but some days I feel my body is dying and it's just like it's giving up at times, but then it starts to come back again. And that's exactly how I feel sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes during the week, you know what I mean? It happens a lot, but I really don't talk about it a lot. You know what I mean? Like say for instance, I get up, I tell my wife, hey, at like 7 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock at night, I'll tell her, let's go upstairs because my feet are starting to hurt. I gotta lay down, and but I'll tell her, go ahead and go up. I'll be up there right now, and it's because I have to um, talk myself into getting up. I have to give myself a minute. So I have to scoot to the edge of the couch and I'll sit there for a minute because I can't get up. My body is very weak and I can't get up. And in my mind, I'm telling myself, just get up, just get up, just get up, stand up. and I gotta like it keeps saying it just to then finally, okay, I'll stand up. But when I stand up, I have to hold on to the couch because all of a sudden my body feels like I just wants to just drop. So I have to hold on to the couch and stand there for a minute and get my shit together, and oh shit, and get my shit together and try to breathe and try to get some energy to stand straight up and be able to go. Now I got to walk up the stairs. It's only like maybe 12 steps, 13 steps up to the top floor. But from sitting on the couch to the top of the stairs, when I enter my room, and my wife could tell you, I have to hold on to the bed and I have to catch my breath because I'll be so out of breath just walking up those stairs. I'm not fucking fat. I weigh 200 pounds. I'm 6'5", you know, I'm thin, but I gotta catch my breath because I barely can make it up to the top of the stairs. And I have to hold on to the bed because I know I'm about to pass the fuck out. So I have to put my head down, start breathing. My wife tells me, like, breathe through your nose, out through your mouth. So I gotta breathe for a few minutes and catch my breath. And then once I catch my breath, then my body starts to, it's like it's rejuvenated itself or something, and okay, I can now, okay, let me get ready for bed. I'll lay down, take a fucking Norco, and then 20 minutes later, my feet, it'll stop feeling the way it feels. So it's like those things like that, you know what I mean? Like where I feel like my body's shutting down, you know what I mean? Or when I'm here at the house and I'll just pass out. I'll sit on the couch and start watching TV and boom, I'm out. I pass the fuck out. And I'll fall asleep right there, sitting down for, 2 hours, 3 hours. Sometimes I do it when my wife's not here, when she's at work. Sometimes, like this weekend, she was laying on the couch we were watching TV, and she passed out on the couch. But I, I just passed out. I sat there and I just knocked the fuck out. And I never used to do that before. Um, it's like, and there's nothing that I could do. There's nothing that I can do to keep my eyes open anymore. And those are the times where I feel like my body's shutting down on me again. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's why I know that's what he means. Like, I can feel my body's dying out. You know what I mean? It's not the same anymore. I don't have the same energy I had before. I could just knock the fuck out right then and there. You know what I mean? There's times when I do things, I gotta do things close to home because I know that I can't. If I have my wife with me, it's okay because if I have to, she'll drive me home. You know what I mean? But I could just feel like I could just fall asleep anywhere. Like I could just be sitting somewhere. I don't go to the movies no more. I haven't been to the walk-in movies in a very long time. Since I've had cancer, I have not been to the walk-in movies because I won't make it. I'll fall asleep within 15 minutes. I'll be asleep in there. I just can't, I can't do it. Um, so as long as I got my wife with me, she can drive me home. But I'll start to, my body will start to shut down, and that's what I know, like, okay, this is not the same as it used to be. It wasn't like this before. I'm not very old. I'm 49 years old, you know what I mean? And it's my body shuts down on me sometimes. So, when people say, people that are not going through this kind of shit, they don't understand. You know what I mean? They really don't understand. You as an individual know your own body. You know when you're sick. You know when you're about to get sick. You know what I mean? You hear people saying it all the time, like, man, I feel like I'm about to get sick, man. I can feel something's going on. I'm gonna catch a cold. I'm gonna catch a flu. Something's going on. You know what I mean? Well, it's the same thing when you're going through a disease and you're going through this kind of shit. You know your body. You know what's going on. You can feel your body shutting down. So when they ask him, do you feel like you're dying? He says, not in the same sense that you feel where you think like you're in pain and shit like that. I just feel it in my body where my body's shutting down and I'm not the same anymore. And you start going through all these things. Like I said, I can't even fucking make it up the stairs sometimes because uh, There's even times where I'm at the bottom of the stairs and I'm just sitting there just telling myself just walk, get up the fucking stairs. And I start thinking to myself like, fuck, I hate living in a two-story condo because I got to go through this shit. Um, and then now I see that I'm sleeping later which I never did before. Today I didn't get up until noon. That's very rare for me to sleep that late. You know what I mean? The weekend, I think I woke up at like 10 on yesterday or day for yesterday. I'm waking up later and later. Before I was getting up early. I was getting up at like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, get up and go get coffee and shit. And now I can't get up. I can't get out of the fucking bed no more. It's like I lay there and I could have slept longer today. I felt like I wanted just to stay in there. I didn't want to get out of the bed. I wanted to stay there and just sleep. But I have my little dogs I got to worry about, and they're sitting on the bed waiting to go outside and use the restroom. So I was like, okay, I got to get up. And there I go, telling myself, just get up, just get the fuck out of the bed. And I got to talk myself into it. And it's kind of like almost like throwing myself out of the fucking bed just to do it. Like, I got to swing my legs off the bed and, like, sit there at the edge of the bed and talk to myself, like, just get the fuck up. And so then I'll get up and take a shower and take the dogs and let them do what they gotta do. And then once I start moving, then I'll start to getting the blood flowing, and I'll start going. But now it's quicker for me to get drained. I'm noticing that now. I've been up since noon and it is now 3:30. So I've been up 3.5 hours, and I already feel like fuck. I want to just lay down. I don't want to be up. I want to lay down. But I'll fight that fucking feeling all day. I'll fight that feeling all day and try. That's why another reason why I do these videos. It keeps me from laying down. Keeps me from going to sleep. And so I watch videos and I make videos and I edit videos to give myself something to do to keep my mind occupied, to keep myself from feeling like fuck, I'm shutting down again. So, but like right now, I'm feeling I'm like fuck. But like I said, it's like 3:30 now. Uh, by the time I'm done doing this video, I'll go in the kitchen and I'll start editing. I'll sit at the table, start editing the video, and then I'll start making dinner because I know my wife gets out of work about 5 o'clock. So then I'll start making dinner about 4:30. And then we'll have dinner. But I know, mm, at least by 6 o'clock, my body shuts down again, and it seems like right now it's shutting down sooner. Before it was like 9, then 8, then 7. Now it's like 6. Um, you know, uh, and for those people that have anything to say about me out riding and shit like that, because I really don't ride my bike no more. I haven't. I haven't had the urge to do it because like riding around here. It's like I could just go in my fucking car. If me and my wife want to go have something to eat, I go maybe to Lazy Dog or go to downtown Claremont. It's fucking 5 minutes from here. Or go to downtown Upland and go eat something over at Paulie's Pizza or whatever in downtown Upland. It's 5 minutes, or not even 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Why get on the bike and just go over there? I just go in the car real quick, and hang out there and come back. You know what I mean? It's like it's not really as fun as when you go further. But for people that think that they're fucking real bikers because they fucking ride their bike everywhere. You know what I mean? And I used to do that shit all the time, to ride everywhere. And now that I don't do it, well, there's a fucking reason for it. Uh, I'm fucking fighting cancer. My legs fucking act up on me. You know what I mean? I can't be out too fucking long because I get tired. And uh, and then and most likely I'm gonna have my wife on the back of the bike. So what happens if I get into a fucking accident, or I can't respond quick enough because my legs are fucked up, or I get somewhere too far away and I need to go home because my body's shutting down on me and I gotta go home. But now how am I gonna get there? I'm on a bike, and who's gonna ride this motherfucking bike home? Who's gonna, I got my wife with me. You know what I mean? Um, and like I said, something happens and I can't react like I used to react, and I get into an accident and I kill my wife. All do I have to prove to everybody else that I'm a real fucking biker? Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. I'm not gonna fucking do anything to impress you. I'm not gonna fucking put my wife's life at risk to fucking impress you of how much of a fucking biker that I am. I really don't give a shit, you know. So that's the reason why I don't be out and about everywhere riding around because like what a fucking jackass, fucking fighting cancer over here and shit and uh you motherfucking people think that I need to impress you about how much of a fucking biker I am because, by riding around every fucking where. You know what I mean? And putting my wife's life at risk. I'm not gonna fucking do it. I'm not even put my own life at risk. Fuck all that shit. I've seen what happens a couple times when friends of mine have went down. And that shit ain't pretty. You know, the fucking asphalt and the concrete, they don't show no fucking mercy to your body, to your skin, to your bones, to a fucking helmet. you know. So I'm not gonna do all that to impress anybody else. So that's the reason why I don't do it because my body's changing. I'm not in any kind of pain as far as like excruciating pain and shit like that. I feel pretty good, but I do feel my body shutting down. That's the thing. I just feel I'm like getting weaker and weaker as time goes by. But it's not pain. For me to explain it to you, it's just, just being super fucking tired, you know, super tired, or like one of those times where you have a fucking weekend where you go out, say you go to Havasu or you do something, go to Vegas or whatever, and you have a long ass fucking weekend and you're, on the way home, you're just like, fuck, I can't wait to get home, man. I'm so fucking tired. I just want to lay down. And then when you get home, you shower and you lay on your bed and you're just so fucking drained. Your body is drained. You don't want to do nothing. You feel just dehydrated and you don't want to get out of bed and you just want to sleep for fucking a whole day. Well, that's how it feels to me every single fucking day. Especially at night, it gets worse and worse and worse. But then all of a sudden, boom, somewhere around 8 o'clock in the evening, 9 o'clock in the evening, my wife would tell you. Sometimes I'll hit the bed like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I hit the bed and I'll lay down in the bed. The TV's on. She's watching TV or she's on her fucking phone, and I'll knock the fuck out just like that. I'll pass out right then and there. But then I'll wake up at 9 o'clock and she's still awake, and she's like, "Man, you knocked out." I said, "Yeah, I know. My body shut down. There's nothing that I can do. Nothing. I cannot fight it. I've tried to drink coffee. I tell her, make me some coffee. And she'll give me coffee, and I'll try that, and that doesn't help me. It doesn't do nothing for me. Um, so, but I'll just instantly knock out. It's like I'll hit the pillow, and boom, my body's done. But I will wake up on 9 o'clock, maybe 9:30, and then I'm up again all night. Up all night, just my mind's going, 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 and it's not going like it was before, as far as the whole funeral thing and all that shit like that, or even thinking about death. It's um It's just I'm thinking now, okay, time's coming. It's almost coming, December's almost here. I gotta figure things out. Okay, I gotta go back to work or I'm gonna lose my job. Um, I may need to go back to my old job. I have friends that work at other companies that, they could probably get me in over there with them, making the same amount of money, but they're not union, but whatever, it is what it is. Better benefits and shit like that, but, I also think like, fuck, man, I wish I had the money so I can buy my own truck and do things that way. Because I have a friend that's a broker and he can give me loads and stuff like that. And but that's where my mind's at right now. I'm thinking about, okay, and then it's like, okay, how am I gonna do this? If I feel this way right now, how am I gonna do this then? Is it that I'm just so used to not doing anything that I'm so tired? I don't think that's 100% accurate. I have fucking cancer. I'm on chemotherapy. The chemotherapy is not, it's not fucking Tylenol. It's fucking up my body. My fingers are still fucked up. They're still tingling. Right now, they're fucking tingling. I just wish that shit would stop. My feet are doing the same thing. I wish it would just stop. Like, fuck, my nerves are fucked up. And that's from the medicine. So, you know your body. We all know our bodies. So for people to sit here and tell me like, you're not dying. You're just tired. Go through what I go through. Go through what other people like me are going through. Then you understand. You understand that your body is breaking down. I don't have a fucking cold. I don't have a flu. You know your body, so you know that it is getting weaker and weaker, and it is. Like I said, I'm not in any kind of fucking pain. Not like I do have pain in my feet. Not that's not a big fucking deal though. I don't have like internal pain and all that shit like that. You know what I mean? I noticed that I have been getting sick again lately as far as eating. Sometimes I'll just like, fuck, I gotta go throw up. Shit, the other day what the fuck was that? I can't remember what was that. Um, I was at Gloria's in downtown Upland with my wife, downtown Ontario with my wife. And I went to the barber shop, but my barber wasn't there yet. So next door, we went to Gloria's Cantina, and we had had a beer and some shrimp ceviche. And I just had maybe a spoonful of the food, and I took a sip of the fucking beer, and I could just feel it instantly. Just it's like it locked up on me, like fuck. So I just went. I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go take a piss real quick. But I did. I had to hurry up and get in there because I knew it was coming back up again. So I had to get into the restroom real quick, and as soon as I got in there, I closed the stall, and boom, it just came out. It's like it got stuck, and my body's pushing it out. So I'm going. I'm getting that feeling again where it's like sometimes when I eat, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. It's getting stuck again. So I won't know until next in 2 weeks or whatever, 3 weeks when I do my scan to find out if the tumor is getting growing again because that's what I'm assuming because that's what was happening before. That's the reason why I couldn't eat. That's the reason why I was throwing up. And since they took me off the other medication, now I'm starting to do that shit again. So I'm wondering, like, okay, that medication they were giving me, they took it, said I didn't need it no more, but now suddenly I'm getting sometimes getting sick again, like I was in the very beginning, and throwing up, can't swallow food. But then there's days where I can eat like a fucking pig. Some days I can, some days I can't. So I don't know. I won't know until then. But anyways, I'm not really worried, concerned about this shit. Um, but again, we all know our bodies. You know when you're feeling sick. You know when you're gonna get sick. You know what I mean? So I know my body, and just like those people in those interviews that we're doing, they know their bodies, and they're like, yeah, I do feel like I'm dying, but not the way you would think of it, in agonizing pain or in a bed or anything like that. No, it's just you know your body is getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and I could tell from what I'm going through as time goes by, I'm getting weaker and weaker and weaker, or I can't even stay up late, or I mean, I can stay up late because I'll fall asleep and then get back up again. Um, but I can't be up on my feet too long. I gotta go lay down at a certain time, around a certain time, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I gotta go lay down because my feet will start acting up on me. And even when we were at the wedding, my wife's like, "Your feet are starting to hurt, aren't they?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Okay, let's go then." So we left the wedding kind of early, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, somewhere around there. I would like to have stayed longer, but I was sitting there like, fuck, my feet are done. I gotta get home. So we came home. But again, it's not like the way you feel. It's not the way you would think in your mind. You know what I mean? It's just like tell my body it's getting weaker and weaker as time goes by. Will I beat it? I don't know. I'm not. That doesn't really concern me. You know what I mean? Um, and that's what this whole video is about. You know, um, the fear of dying and fear of death, and what do like then people say I'm not afraid of it. It's just the things that you're gonna leave behind, or things you regret. You know what I mean? Like not going certain places, not doing certain things. So that's the reason why I try to do as much as I possibly can. I can't really go fucking far. It's not like I can go travel. It's not like if I hit the fucking lotto right now and I can say, hey, you know what? Now I got all this money, I can just go travel. No, I gotta be close around where my doctors are at and shit like that. I have to have medication if I need it. I gotta. I can't just up and go to fucking Italy. Um, but I do go to dinners and shit with my wife, and we go. We still have try to have a good time, but we have to do it locally, or if we get a chance to go to a concert, we do them locally. That's something that I want to continue doing is going to concerts and shit like that and seeing bands that I never got to see. Um, Actually, hopefully we can get our tickets to go see Steely Dan in Chicago, and I think it's at SoFi. I'm not sure, but they're coming pretty soon. So actually, I gotta look into that. I think the tickets just went on sale, so I want to go do that. But again, that's not far. It's right here. I think it's a SoFi, so it's in Inglewood. So that's 45 minutes away. Um, but doing things like that, going to the concerts and stuff, or staying locally and you go and have nice steak dinners and shit like that. But I can't really travel too far. If I can't get on my fucking bike and drive and ride fucking couple hours away, what makes you think that I can get on a fucking plane and fly, you know, 4,000 miles to another country, and not be close to the doctors that I need to be close to. So, yeah, I'm not afraid of all that shit. And I explained that shit to you guys before. I'm not afraid. I'm not worried about it. It's just things that you leave behind. Um, but the other reason for the video is that it's like enjoy your life, whether you're sick or not. It doesn't really matter because you don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. I know there's people out there that are going through things like sicknesses and illnesses, and they get all depressed and shit like that. And for me, I'm not like that. I always have a good attitude when it comes to it. People ask me about it. It's like I'm still here. Don't worry about me. I'm all right. I'm still right here. I'm sitting here talking to you, ain't I? You know what I mean? I'm sitting here having a beer with you, ain't I? I'm sitting here having a steak with you, ain't I? I'm all right. You know what I mean? Don't worry about me. I'm not gonna sit here and fucking depress you with a sad ass story. You know what I mean? And woe is me, and looking all sad and shit all the time. You don't see that shit from me. My friends don't see that shit from me. My wife doesn't even see that shit from me. No matter how I'm feeling, she does not see that from me. She does not. I don't act weak in front of my wife. I don't act weak in front of my family and my friends. For me, I mean, for some people that's the way that they are. For me, I don't want that shit around me. Don't bring your fucking weakness over here. Don't bring your sadness over here and your woe is me's over here to my house. You know what I mean? I don't want to deal with this shit, and I don't want that kind of person around my wife. You know what I mean? Where this person's constantly fucking feeling sad, like they walk around like fucking Eeyore, uh, with this woe is me attitude, and you bring that shit around my wife. You know what I mean? I don't want that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, get the fuck up, be a man, be a woman, and deal with it. You ain't gonna last forever. You can beat whatever sickness you have, and you're still gonna fucking die. No matter what you do, you're still gonna fucking die. So what are you afraid of? Don't be afraid because it's the end of the game. That's why you're here. You know what I mean? That's the way that I see it. That's the reason why you're here is to fucking make it to the end and die. And you are no longer gonna fucking exist. You didn't have no pain before, you ain't gonna have no pain after. You just cease to fucking exist. You only gonna exist in the memories of the people that knew you. And when that person, the last person that knew you dies, there goes your fucking memory because you ain't famous. You ain't somebody that's gonna be like, you ain't Humphrey Bogart or something. You're just a regular average Joe. And when the last person that knows you dies, then there goes your memory of you. You will no longer exist at all. And it's okay because you didn't exist before. So don't be afraid. Just live your life. Go have a good time. Do the things you want to do if you can do them. If you can't, then you can't. I mean, I can't just do what I want to do. I wish that I could. You never know. I mean, shit. If I did have the money, I might be stupid enough to go somewhere far just to get the fuck out of here for a few days. You know, if I had the money to, if I hit the fucking lotto, yeah, I probably would be dumb enough to say, you know, hey, fuck it. Let's go to Greece. Let's go out there for a few days. I'll take as much medication as I can with me if they allow it. You know what I mean? We'll go out there in a few days, you know, whatever. You never know. But do all the things that you want to do because one day you ain't gonna fucking be here. Just like you know with my cousin. You know, I guess I got assumed that my cousin was living his life the way he wanted to live it. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure that he doesn't have a lot of fucking regrets. I wouldn't think. You know what I mean? Because I've never heard bad any bad stories about my cousin ever. You know what I mean? So I think that hopefully that's comforting to his kids and his wife that my cousin lived his life the way he wanted to live it. He had a good time. I know that. You know, he was building cars like crazy. You know, I couldn't tell you how many fucking old cars this guy had. And that was his life, you know, working and building old cars, buying and selling cars, buying and selling parts and shit. He was like really into that kind of shit. You know, he's been into it for years since I've known he's been into it. You know, so, you know, he was doing what he wanted to do. And he lived his life the way he wanted to live it, the way he wanted to live it. You know, and it sucks that it came to an end the way that it did. Hopefully he didn't suffer through a lot. You know, in the end, you know, I don't know what happened. I'll find out. Hopefully, some more information. Maybe the funeral, or maybe I won't. Maybe I won't find out. I'm not gonna ask if they volunteer the information. Then then you know, I'll listen. But I'm not gonna ask. He's no longer here. It doesn't. That shit doesn't matter now. But like I said, hopefully he wasn't in a lot of fucking pain, and uh, and he lived his life the way that he wanted to live, and that's the way that everybody, whether you're got cancer, whether you have fucking Parkinson's disease, whatever you have, just live your fucking life. Live it the way you want to live it. Don't listen to other fucking people. You know, because when you're gone, you're gone. That's it. You know what I mean? So have a good time. So with that being said, that's my video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I passed 800 as of yesterday. I think 800 followers. So like I said, I'm just trying to get to that 1,000. Once I hit that, then we just keep on going and shit. You know what I mean? If you have any suggestions on topics, let me know. If you want to know anything about me, let me know. One thing that I'm gonna tell you right now is I'm not gonna discuss my kids. So don't even ask about that. That's my private shit that I keep with myself. I don't need to discuss my my kids with everybody else, you know, and they probably wouldn't like that anyway, you know what I mean? So um you can ask whatever else you want, you know, you can just I'm not gonna discuss my kids, you know, that's not gonna happen. So anyways, again, thank you guys for watching the video. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll be talking to you guys later.